Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got ourselves another World Team League match between Shopify Rebellion and Basilisk. First match down here in the bottom right side. Representing Shopify Rebellion, it is, of course, their ace, BYUN. And he's actually finding himself, unfortunately for Shopify Rebellion, up against the weakest player of Basilisk, Trigger. Now, I say the weakest. Well, it turns out when your teammates are Serral and Reynor, it's kind of easy to be the weakest. If to put that in perspective, Trigger literally needs to become a top 5 player in the world before he can actually not be the weakest. And actually, oh god, did he just not notice that? Oh no, he did. Okay, this is an Engineering Bay block for BYUN. It's a best of 7 team league series, guys. All players play 2 matches against each other. And if it's tied up 3 wins each side, then 1 player from each team can get revived. Well, look at this. 3 probe pull immediately. Oh, this is perfect. The fact that he sent the probe out at the right time to see the SCV come in, that gets shut down. Normally you have to pull 4 probes to fight it, but notice Trigger's just like, no, I'm good. 1 dude on gas. We're going to clear this up just around the time I have 400 minerals free. BYUN's going to cancel it for the refund. He's got to cancel it. He's delayed the Nexus a few seconds, but his own build order, of course, always has a slowed down command center when you go for that early Engineering Bay. Looked like he wanted to trap that probe inside there, so if that probe went any further, the depot would have raised. But he's got a factory. It was a gas-first Engineering Bay block. Ooh. Now keep in mind, this is round 9 in the World Team League, so as I was saying, the format is best of 7. We're going to be showing the overall score. And remember, it is not like a best of 3 series. It is you are all playing just 2 maps, and it's just contributing towards the overall team score in that best of 7. So, waiting in the wings for Trigger, he's got Reynor and Serral. It is a small 3-person roster. Occasionally, when one of them is sick or traveling and can't play, they do bring their, what do we call Rotterdam? Content creator? Coach? He's not really a coach, he's more of a content creator. I don't know if they call him Coach Roddy, but he has sat in once or twice as a substitute, but otherwise it's a very small roster. Shopify Rebellion has BYUN. They've also got Harstem, Lambo, and Scarlet. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. If there's another Shopify Rebellion player that I haven't mentioned, it's because I'm an idiot, not because they're not a good player that I've forgotten about. Double Hellion production is on the way right now. Now, as I was saying, it's kind of unfortunate to have your best player BYUN playing against the weakest player of the other team, because it's almost like you're wasting your best player to win. On the other hand, didn't Trigger 2-0 BYUN one time? He did, didn't he? Last season, not this season, but in the summer season, there was a match between these 2 teams where Trigger actually 2-0'd BYUN, and then Scarlet went 1-1 with Serral, which was incredible. Harstem went 1-1 with Reynor, which was incredible, but they still lost without even forcing the ace match because BYUN let them down and lost 2-0 to Trigger. So there's a bit of history between these 2 now that I think about it, where Trigger has been instrumental in them taking down Shopify Rebellion before. Now, the Adept gets out of there, got some good damage, which is a good start for Trigger. He is rock solid on the defense with 2 Stalkers and an Adept. We've got a Widow Mine being produced and a Medevac. The thing is, Trigger seems to know what he's up against. He's got 2 gates and a Robo. He's probing up on 2 bases. Exceptionally safe play for Trigger. He does have 17 workers on minerals, which is a little odd, but it doesn't really matter. You can see he's got an extra 3rd worker on this patch that it has to wait in between trips a little bit. It's not 100% effective, but it's good enough. The build BYUN's going for is an older build. It looks amazing or terrible based on how well the Protoss player plays. And you need to react very quickly, because what's going to happen is he's going to boost in, drop a Widow Mine here, and then one in the mineral line, and then he probably tries to drop the 4th Widow Mine in the main. And because that's going to blow up the units that are blocking, then the Hellions can drive in. Problem, Trigger's really smart and is preparing for this, and he's literally just going 4-gate blink and fully walling off his base with a shield battery. Now, the shield battery is nice because it takes 29 seconds to build, so he doesn't have to cancel it immediately. Here comes the Widow Mine drop. Oh, he's actually just gone for the Widow Mine drop. Isn't bothering with the other stuff. Oh, he's got a Prism. Oh, he's going to try and do some hot pickups, but oh, he does lose a Stalker and 2 probes. So you can see he was trying to use the Warp Prism to pick up while the Widow Mine was in midair to make sure it doesn't fire, but nice play there by BYUN to get a little bit of damage. Shield battery does get cancelled. Hellions get pushed away. Feels like I don't think this has done the damage you want it to. And a lot of people go, well, you need more damage, don't you? This is a big commitment for BYUN. Yeah, yes and no. He hasn't actually lost the units that he's committed with yet, right? So it's actually completely fine, as long as he doesn't take damage to the 4-gate blink, because Trigger staying on 2 base. Oh, what? No, oh my god, oh, Trigger. Ow. Okay, well, 4 probes go down there, and 1 died to the previous wave as well. That Widowmine finally goes down, but I really feel like Trigger knew the Widowmine drop was there. Why not just leave 2 Stalkers? You know, obviously he's saying, I'm going to hit the sharpest possible timing, and that's what's important. You might say just leave units at home. You don't understand how important the intensity is, but oh god, Hellions. He does lose 1, so they can't quite one-shot workers, but my god. Okay, Trigger basically needs to win with this blink in. He's taking big damage behind it. He gets both tanks very quickly. Those tanks were way too exposed. Bad positioning for BYUN. He didn't have that depot up yet. You need to wall that off so the Stalkers can't get in. He's got a tank in the main. He's already lost 2 tanks. The Stalker count. How many Stalkers have actually died? The Widowmine goes back to the main base. Looks like only 3 probes died to the Hellions. I thought a lot more would have died to that. Maybe BYUN didn't focus fire as well as he could have. The Stalkers are actually picking away all these units. The tank's gone down. Dude, Trigger's picking him apart. I look at it and I'm like, you know, I'm still sometimes stuck in this mindset of Trigger not being able to compete with a guy like BYUN. I got to remember that Trigger, one of the first pros that he got a lot of experience against was BYUN. Trigger understands BYUN on a very deep level because they played in so many weekly cups together. And that was where some of his first victories against top pros came against. Now, Widowmine did come in and just kill 8 probes, which is devastating damage if this game goes on. Oh, and that tank got a big shot off the Observer. Oh, the Observer's twerking as it gets away. Shakes its little robot booty in the face of the Terran and says, nah, you can never get this, you can never get this. Unfortunately, BYUN, unlike Borat's brother, Roller, is not able to break out of the cage and then get this. The tank gets blinked on and taken out. Is Trigger actually going to do this? That's a lot of Marine Marauder. You don't want to lose too many of these Stalkers. Blink finally comes off cooldown. You can see quite a few Stalkers go down. 26 workers have died, but that has been over a long period of time. I don't know what happened there. There's 2 SCVs in the Protoss base. That just shows the chaos of what's going on. He needs to stabilize, does BYUN, but that Observer surviving is massive because now he's going to see when and where the tank sieges, and Trigger's just going to back off. Doesn't even take a tank shot. This is such a problem. BYUN wants it so badly, finally gets rid of that Observer. Behind it, 3rd base, charges on the way. Probes are being rebuilt. Main base, fully saturated. Natural, saturated. Forge going down. Good handling by Trigger as he swaps into harassment mode. Unfortunately for him, Stim is here. You can force a few Stims. You can't get much else down. Looks like the depot did burn down there. Maybe didn't repair that. Stalker's picking off a Marine or 2. Not too bad. Where is the starport? There it is, but he hasn't built any medevacs yet. Tank in the main base. I think these tanks need to be covering each other. BYUN keeps making the classic mistake of spreading his tanks out to cover both bases. Oh no, you gotta keep those tanks near each other so they can punish. If you blink on one tank, the other tank's behind it and punishes you with some big shots. But BYUN just GG's out, and Trigger has already taken a map of Shopify Rebellion's strongest player. Well, that's a rough start there for BYUN and Shopify Rebellion. He's already, I mean, obviously he can still win a map, but this is the fact that they keep picking Trigger to face off in the first match or the last match, whichever one. They seem to have a good way of matching Trigger with BYUN, where they don't even expect him to win a map. And then by winning a map, he's already like far exceeded expectation. And now it's like, well, okay, you need to... BYUN needs to win this map, and then you need to go 1-to-1 with Serral and 1-to-1 with Reynor, 2 of the best players in the world, who account for so many championships in the last 5 years since they came of age. And I mean that came of age. For those who don't know, Serral was a bit earlier than Reynor. Serral could compete when he was younger, but because he was still in high school, it wasn't until he actually finished high school at the age of like 17, almost 18, I think it was, that he started really kicking butt. Now that is a proxy going out here. Hides the SCV. BYUN's doing a cheeky build order. So whereas Reynor and Clem and these younger guys, they actually couldn't start competing till they were 16 because ESL and other big tournament organizers wouldn't let them due to legal reasons. And those guys, basically, it was like the moment they turned 16, bam, they were killing it. Serral, the moment he finished school, bam, he was killing it. Made it immediately to a grand finals end of 2017 and started kicking ass. But it's interesting because Trigger is quite young. I think he's about 20 now, but he has really just exploded in the last few years and shown that he has the potential to be up at that point. Engineering Bay gets cancelled. Trigger goes straight for the... I really think Trigger did not expect 2 Engineering Bay blocks in a row, so that's kind of caught him off guard. And look at how early that factory is. That built it at a minute and 32 seconds. Straight for the reactor. Now, BYUN's using the same build, or same opening, I should say, twice in a row, but because the Engineering Bay has been successful this time, it's going to be much harder to deal with the Hellions. Before there was any rulings about the age in tournaments, in DreamHack, younger people were allowed to play. For those who don't know, in 2014, I believe it was, DreamHack Valencia 2014. Yeah, because I was at that tournament. Reynor was playing there. So that was 4 years before he turned 16? Doing the maths, was he 12? Does that mean he was 12? I thought he was like 13 or 14, but yeah, I think he was 12, and he got top 8 at that DreamHack. So just to show the raw talent on display. Nowhere near the player he is today, but kind of funny to think about that. That's the pedigree you're dealing with. Basilisk with such a ridiculous roster. Good damage. The Adept shades away. Hellions might try to catch it, but unlikely they'll get to it in time. Starport does go down after the command center. Shield battery is already up in that base. Adept is going to hang out there, and the other Adept rotates forward. Yes, you can repair the Hellions, but taking all that damage does kind of suck. So BYUN's probably going to just run home. Actually, I mean, you want to get the damage done now. And usually, you know, the third is the focus. This is the least defended base. If I were him, I'd probably go to the right and try to come in. But look at all this vision. I mean, Trigger's got amazing vision right now. Oh, the Adept barely gets back in time. That's actually real slick. Hellions managed to take out a probe, but look at this. Beautiful defense, man. And doesn't even try to run that one away. BYUN's like, okay. What's faster, by the way, an Adept Shade or a Hellion? I think a Hellion is faster. Very similar movement speed, though. 2 Cyclones on the way after 2 Widow Mines. Wait. Oh, he's afraid of a counterattack right now, and fair enough. Those Adepts and Phoenix Shade in, he could be in big trouble. Oh, barely loses the one-hit power. And Hellions aren't getting any damage done. Dude, Trigger is all over this series. Double Cyclone Viking production, but it looks like a defensive measure more than anything. I don't really see... And if he goes 3rd and 4th Cyclone, it's actually bananas. No. He's getting ready to swap over into Marine tank production by the looks of it. Fair enough. Marine tank Viking. I guess he could do a big push. Phoenix rotating around, checking everything out. Robo is on the way. Looks like a Phoenix Colossus play. And the 3rd command center builds in the back. BYUN's going to have to play a longer game, but he's behind 11 workers. He's building a Raven and Interference Matrix here against a Phoenix play. Oh, Widow Mines do take out the Phoenix. But yeah, seeing that Raven, the production, it could be Cloaked Banshee, of course. You'll have to build an Observer or 2 to check. I don't know how... I used to always say basically 100% Ravens are terrible versus Phoenix, and definitely versus Phoenix Zealot styles they are, but against Phoenix Colossus, if you can protect the Raven well enough, it's great. And the top Terrans are just so good at protecting it. And that's what's changed my mind. You know, I used to rant about this. I was like, guys, stop building Ravens, because like the Phoenix can kill it in 7 shots. And that's pretty damn vulnerable. Is it 7 or is it 8? I think it might be 8. So if you have 4 Phoenix, you 2-shot it. And Phoenix shoot bloody fast. They shoot, is it faster than once a second? Yeah, faster than once a second, every 0.79 seconds. So you basically need to be in range of the Raven with a move and shoot unit for 1.6 seconds with 4 Phoenix, and it dies. So even if you've got a bunch of Marines, a Viking, or a Cyclone nearby, it's still very fragile. And he does it with just a single Raven. I was thinking with Interference Matrix, he'd wait for the second, but apparently not. Does see the extra barracks coming in. Robo Bay is on the way as well as that Forge. 6 Phoenix are out right now. I'm surprised Trigger's not attempting to harass, but I guess having seen multiple Cyclones and Vikings, having lost one to the Widow Mine, he's figuring, well, I don't want to risk losing them. Adept on the left side right now. Adept on the right. 1-1 upgrades are coming in. Extra reactors building as we speak. Starport and Factory are there. Phoenix coming around the left side, and Widow Mines are there. No. Ow. Oh, I think he's trying to pick off the Widow Mines, but no, he takes some big shots, big damage on the Phoenix. They'll recover the shields, but of course the hit points, which are 2/3 of a Phoenix's life, will not recover. Keep in mind, this is why Stalkers are one of the best shields units for in and out combat. They're 50% shields, whereas most other units are about 2/3 raw life. Sentry is also 50-50. Adept is 50-50. Well, okay, Zealots, Immortals, Phoenix, quite a few units, I should say, are 2/3 hit points, only 1/3 shields. Observer does get taken out there. Oh, Trigger's going to dive it. He's diving it. No, oh, great reaction by BYUN. If BYUN was like even half a second slower there, that could have been game ending. But watch out, Interference Matrix. Interference Matrix comes down. The Raven does get picked off. I like that he recalls the Colossus. Can the Immortal get out though? Does recall the Colossus. 3 SCVs go down. Oh, Stim's on the way. The Cyclone's a problem. Yeah, he basically says, okay, I'm going to lose the Immortal because the Cyclone there, not to mention Stim. Was that worth it? I mean, you've killed the Raven and a few Cyclones. Cyclones don't really matter. You got a few SCV kills. But I think you could definitely argue that's worth it because you kept your Phoenix Colossus count alive and you got rid of the Raven, which otherwise it's disable on 2 Colossi in a fight. It can completely change the outcome. It can massively change everything that happens. Templar Archives is on the way, so it looks like a Zealot Archon transition. A Viking Snipe. Dude, Trigger's such a good player. Now, part of me wants him to do nothing but make units on 3 base and then just try to kill. Just because it's like a very simple game plan. Easier said than done. But if he could like hit with Zealot Archon before these Ghosts are out, that'd be massive. Ghost Academy's just started. Templar Archives and 8 gates almost finished. Another Phoenix goes down. Losing a bit of this Phoenix control is rough because charge isn't even done yet, guys. I kind of like the camping on the production. 4 Phoenix will take forever to kill a Marauder, though. That's the problem. If you had 5 or 6, kills these a little bit quicker. You can see here it's a bit messier. Double drop on the left side coming in. His army's not quite in position. He's going to have to split. Can't send the whole army there. He's sending his whole army to deal with the double drop, and he's losing a Colossus. Oh, no. Beyond out positioning him. Oh, Trigger. Did not expect that. Where are the Phoenix right now? I think he must have recalled them, but they are not here just yet. They're flying in home. Army at the front is getting defended, but oh, no, get back to the battery. Oh, he's out of range. Oh, Trigger. Oh, my lord. Being a bit too aggressive with his Phoenix, not splitting his army preemptively. And he ends up in big doo-doo. Just, he didn't think BYUN was ready to push yet. He just underestimated BYUN's power, and that's an unfortunate way to lose a game, but this is, I mean, it's looking like game over. 20 probes going down as well as 2 Colossus. Trying to rebuild them right now. The Marauders do get picked off at the front. It looks like he's going to save a bunch of those units and fly away. 70 worker economy for Terran. Ghost Academy's done. Ghosts are starting. +2 weapons is on the way as well. And yeah, I do not see you coming back to this one. That is 53 Protoss trying to build a cannon to spot the Widow Mines. Zealot's in range right now, so he's got to pull a bit further back. 4th Command Center goes down on location. I imagine there's going to be Vikings coming out, and that's the problem with the Colossus. I mean, don't get me wrong, Trigger's done his job. As we said, taking a map off BYUN is all well and good, but you want a bit more than this after the great start you had in this game. Protoss a little bit more fragile when playing Phoenix Colossus. If you're out of position once, they can punish you big time. And look at that. The Widowmine drop's very smart, knowing he's not going to have detection in the main or the natural, only at the front. Second Robo tries to go down. Archon's morphing. Trigger's going to try to fight this out. If he comes back in this game, I will dub him a fully fledged wizard. No longer just a bloody, an acolyte. We're talking about a top tier wizard level StarCraft player. Widowmines will take out just a couple probes there. Yes, 2 of them. Medevac does get cleaned up. You're going to need to build a cannon if you want to get rid of this, or use the Observer. Fair enough. He's like, dude, I can't afford a cannon in my main right now. I'm broke. I'm way behind. I'm on 58 workers trying to make double Robo Immortal Colossus and get a second forge. Like, there is no way for me to even secure a 4th base. I can't be affording random cannons right now. He's going to try to take a 4th on the right, which is, there's ambitious, and then there's that move. I have seen Trigger make some pretty good comebacks, which is one of the big reasons I have belief in him as a player that can progress to the very highest tier of the game. I think he will crack top 10 at one point. Probes starting to go down. That's 7-8 probes falling behind the natural. Double gas falling on the Nexus as well. Zealot Archon Stalker tries to come in. Remember, Blink is not done. The Stalkers are kind of blocking the units. The Colossus gets a few good shots off, but a hot pickup. Nicely done by BYUN. Can catch that 4th Nexus on the way out, and indeed he will. Phoenix going to fly over there to their death. Army on the front comes in. Marines, Ghosts are a bit exposed. The Colossus Archon deals with it. So far, good defense. Nexus canceling on the right side. He's hanging in there. The problem is that there's still growth behind this. 4th Command Center's up. BYUN is on a massive 87 worker count, which is undoubtedly too many, because his natural's about to run out of a few more mineral patches, right? These guys are getting pretty low. 87 is definitely a bit too high, but what do you got? 8 barracks? Oh my god, he's got 8 barracks now as well. 1 more reactor, 2 more tech labs. That's 5 tech labs, 3 reactors, 2 reacted starports, 6 Vikings to help with this. I mean, you're going to have 2-2, so a double upgrade advantage. And you've got a decent Viking count. Not enough to dominate the Colossus, but still enough to take care of them. And you got 7 ghosts, 18 marauders. Like, it's every advantage is there, not to mention the 20 to 30 army supply advantage as well. And here we go. Battery overcharge goes down, trying to pull back here. Looking for some feedbacks potentially. Nice feedbacks do go down on a few of these ghosts. I think they were the ones that already used their EMPs though. Hard to land that on those high energy ghosts in the back. That Archon does somehow finish morphing. We'll come back and heal up on the batteries a little bit, but they are pretty dry. Trigger hanging on right now, making +3 attack, +1 armor, 2 immortals in production as well. BYUN's making 3 more command centers in a fusion core, which is absolutely what you need to continue your lead. But you know what else continues your lead? Trading army. Right now, you're so far ahead. Don't let Trigger catch up on army supply. Just go kill him. BYUN's just looking for the right angle, letting himself heal. It's probably the correct call. Battery overcharge is still not ready. It's going to be away for another 17 seconds. Marine, Marauder, Viking, Ghost coming forward. The EMPs. Oh my god. The Vikings taking down the Colossus. The last one will fall in a moment. The 4 Immortals on their own is just not enough, man. And BYUN does tie up the series 1-1. All right, going into the next game, we've now got Reynor coming out for Basilisk in the top right, Lambo in the bottom left for Shopify Rebellion. It's a Zerg versus Zerg match, and these are going to be a dime a dozen. You've got Lambo and Scarlet in your lineup. Obviously, Harstem is also there. Harstem's been very good recently. I feel like Harstem was not one of their first picks. It was almost always the Scarlet-Lambo combo for a while there, backing up BYUN in the weeklies. But I think at the moment, Harstem might actually be better than... No, I think Harstem's definitely better than Scarlet recently. He almost beat Clem in that series we cast. He's been killing it. Harstem's actually been going toe-to-toe with the best. And it's almost a shame he didn't run into Reynor, because I actually feel he's... we saw him beat Reynor in a weekly cup, and he's looked really good at defending his stuff. Now, Lambo's going second gas lair. Oh, 2-base muta. This looks like a 2-base muta. Could technically be a Nidus Worm opening. We'll have to wait and see. Third base is on the way there for Reynor. So Reynor's building some Zerglings. Lambo didn't build any of these. Oh, look, he's got a drone on the ramp. That's to block. He's going to move that drone forward, hold position. He's a bit slow on moving it forward. You have to let it fully decelerate before the hold position kicks in. Otherwise, it can get pushed out of the way. So Reynor sees what's happening, and he's like, okay. You're doing a quick lair and a quick second gas, aren't you? There's a Roach Horn and an Evo Chamber on the natural. Slightly up in workers is Lambo because he stopped or didn't make Ling Speed. Oh, Reynor cancelled Ling Speed reactively. And he said, yeah, well, okay. I don't want to build Zerglings. If you're playing Roaches, I'll do Roaches of my own. And his Evo Chamber is a little behind for Reynor, as is his Roach Horn, and he's not making a lair, but he's going to have the third base, and a slight worker advantage. Third base goes up for Lambo as well. Oh my, that's a risky third, but I think seeing no Ling Speed kick in, Lambo's like, yeah, no, I think I can get away with this. I think you're going to be greedy, and he's correct. 3 Roaches are building. 4 Roaches. That's a fake third base. This is a 2-gas Roach all-in. The third base is there to convince Reynor to build 50 workers. Oh my lord. Okay, look at this from Reynor's camera. Does Reynor get sense of this? He's making his own lair. He's got +1 range on the way. He's droning really hard because you can't squeeze a third hatchery in with only a 32 drone all in normally. It slows it down too much to be effective. You know what makes it effective though? If you think that can't be possible. The moment you think something's not possible, it's out of the realm of possibilities, then it immediately can become good again because you underestimate its power. And Reynor right now, he's going above 50 workers against a 30 drone Roach all in. Oh, this is not good for him, man. Now, there are a few Roaches there. He sees no gases. He's immediately got to panic. Spines, spines, spines. Right now, let's go to Reynor's vision. Spines, mate. You got to start those spines yesterday. He's trying to build Overlords right now so he can make Roaches. I mean, honestly, not even spines. He needs to wall off his natural and give up his third. 54 drones. Reynor has been tricked. There are 12 Roaches coming across. Roach speed and +1 are almost there. +1's still about 20 seconds out, but you got 14 Roaches against 3 on the map. 4 more will be popping. Reynor will have defender's advantage. Gathering at the natural is the right call. He's trying to get out of there with the queens. Drones are going to keep mining on that third, but I honestly feel he needs to pull drones and fight with the drones in front of his Roach Queen. With no creep between his bases, though, he can't really maneuver those queens. Oh, Lambo, careful, Lambo. Don't be throwing those Roaches away, mate. Don't be... Oh my god, Lambo with some miss micro. Oh, he misclicks those Roaches back, and he's going to throw 2 Roaches away. Very wasteful. Every unit counts in this sort of scenario. Now, Lambo's hunting down these drones while also droning up himself. So it's actually not an all-in. Wait. Did he only commit to 14 Roaches? So it's 14 Roaches with +1. Let's try and get as much damage and then just kind of do this. Reynor somehow keeps 5 drones alive. And starts the faster +2 by a whole 1 second. Almost identical timings on +2. Lambo very supply booked on 82. Reynor very supply booked on 98. That tells me Reynor kind of came out on top of that, despite it looking incredibly scary. Let's look at the income tab. Reynor had a big income lead. Lambo took a slight income lead, but it's going back to even now. Wow. Okay. That was a real weird metagame build from Lambo. Some 300 IQ StarCraft. I mean, this is what I expect. I mean, that little roach mistake is very classic for Lambo. You know, slight micro errors, not being quite as crisp or as good at the micro and managing his units. But his strategies and his understanding are next level. I always reference, every time I cast Lambo, I reference his video where he did a breakdown of playing a grand finals against Serral in a premier tournament. It's like a big $10,000, I think it was 10,000 first place, or it was like a $15,000 or $20,000 tournament that was played online. It was a big tournament. And yeah, it was a big finals where he almost beat Serral. It was 4-3. And hearing his breakdown of the understanding of how he expected Serral to play and how he was countering it and the kind of mind games he was playing, it was like, it was just eye-opening. Like any player who's high level at StarCraft, say Diamond or above, Platinum even or above, I just feel any player honestly could appreciate some of it. But I think the higher level you are, the more you're blown away by the level of complexity that Lambo understands compared to your average Grandmaster. Whenever I get to hear Lambo's thoughts, I'm always like, okay, I understand a lot more about this game now. +2 is almost finished for both sides. 60 drones for Reynor, only 53 for Lambo. So Lambo's a bit more committed to almost like a big roach all in. And Reynor's also split 3 roaches to go across the map. He just built 7 drones. Reynor just built 7 drones. Has he not been scouting? He's not been overseer scouting. He's being very greedy right now. Now he sees that he's about to get attacked. He's not building spines or anything. He is 13 workers ahead. Lambo is saying, let's just go for a +2 timing attack. Let's push it in as hard as I can. He doesn't have a massive army advantage. Reynor's going down to meet him, which is a little crazy, but you know what? He's got Ravagers, so why not? I like the Roach run by and left. I actually think Reynor's fine. Reynor's got a pretty good army. He's going to send Roaches out the right. Oh no, Reynor, careful. You're outnumbered there, buddy. Gonna have to be very careful on the defense because this allows Lambo to set up the concave. Lambo actually has superior positioning here, which is great. Breaks through the front line, starts to take out the Ravagers. Reynor's got to shuffle those Ravagers back. Where's the rest of Reynor's Roaches? They're coming in a bit late. He might have to pull some drones here. He has to pull some drones. He's getting overrun right now. The Roaches on the left kill 2 or 3 drones as well as a Queen. Meanwhile, Lambo's front line is eating a few biles, but he's pushing in. He's got the numbers. The drones still have not been pulled. Lambo is down 16 workers right now, but Reynor didn't pull drones in time. Now he's lost all of his Roaches. If he pulls drones now, it's too late. He's already lost his firepower. He pulls drones, but he's got nothing behind it. He's only got, okay, he's got more Roaches popping out. He might have pulled those drones just in time to save himself. This is so close. This is so very close right now. I don't know where this goes, but it just feels like Lambo's micro is being good enough. He's got the numbers advantage. Reynor got caught being a bit greedy. Oh, man. And pulls the drones a bit too late as well. Even if I'm pulling drones is not a good thing to do. But when you're up 16 workers, you have to use those drones as a bit of a meat shield. And you've got to use them early before your roach count goes down. Because otherwise, drones are there to tank. They don't really do damage. They just absorb damage. So if you pull them to tank when you've got a big army doing damage behind it, they're effective. If you pull them when you only have a few units, what are you tanking for? You're just wasting a few seconds. And that, unfortunately, was a little too late for Reynor. Nice builds for Lambo, though. And I have to check back and check Reynor's scouting. I regularly talk about how both Reynor and Dark don't scout very much compared to a guy like Serral. They don't play as safe. And if we look at this, has he been scouting? Let's go back to about 6:30 onwards. Because if you look at Reynor's vision, he does try to get an Overseer in. But you know what? Props where props are due. Lambo chased that Overseer away. And that's very important. Why? Because if Reynor sees this mineral line, he's going to be like, whoa, why is that not filled with workers? Why are you missing a gas? If he gets in the natural, he sees another gas missing, which is 4 workers missing. Another 4 workers. He gets in, actually. Reynor gets in right there. Hold on a second. He does get in. Was that after he'd already built the drones? No. So Reynor gets in. He sees that there's not that mineral line is not fully saturated and the gas is missing. He sees, okay, I'm on 5 gases. You probably are as well. He probably thinks, okay, same gas count for both of us. And similar worker count. But yeah, he just got a little greedy here with the extra drones that he builds. He's already up 7 workers. And he kind of splitting roaches across makes your army smaller. So this actually weakens him. Because if you've already got an economic advantage, going to kill your opponent's drones doesn't help you. All you need to do is make sure you've got enough army to survive. And he builds these 7 drones at the worst possible time. Unfortunate for Reynor there. He thought, we're so close to max. What's a few drones difference going to do? It's just going to give me more money. Defender's advantage means I can defend just about anything. And unfortunately for Reynor's sake, he was wrong. That puts Shopify Rebellion up 2-1. An unfortunate last game there for Reynor. I thought running those drones away and keeping 5 alive after the first push and not just like dying or getting massive damage, I thought that was pretty damn impressive, but Lambo coming in with just a very decisive follow-up. I kind of like that Lambo kept it simple there. A 53 drone plus 2 roach attack is a very simple attack, and part of me is a little surprised that he didn't send a bunch of drones from his natural to his third base and take the extra gas just to make it look a bit more convincing, and then you let Reynor scout that. Whereas he was obviously trying to deny Reynor scouting and wouldn't have been happy that Reynor saw it, but Reynor saw the work account. And then he said, I think in his mind, he was like, oh, we're probably pretty even. He didn't realize with that tiny glimpse of the mineral line, oh, no, you actually had 3 less workers on... You had 3 more minerals. Lambo had 3 less. And Lambo was a gas down. So if you're already ahead 7 workers, you don't need to get another 7 workers and build the 3 roaches and also not pull your own workers. It's kind of funny because often people are like, well, look at that. I mean, I can't believe that. Surely you should be able to get that drone advantage. I think he could have, guys. If he kept his roaches at home, those 3 extra roaches, doesn't sound like 3 roaches makes a difference. If he pulled the drones earlier, I think that also means he could deflect that attack. And he might not have had an advantage afterwards, but I think it would have been close to even. Even if he loses 10, 12 workers, he still is ahead on the workers. So, not too bad. Lambo's going to go gold base, hatchery, after gas pull. Oh! Guys, everyone's been doing my build order lately. I say my build order. I don't know if I copied this off someone in early Legacy of the Void or not. There was a lot of gold bases in early Legacy. 17 gas, 17 pool, 18 hatchery was one of my favorite builds for a long time. I still do this on ladder a lot. But I've actually seen a lot of the top pros mixing this in with mixed results. Some games it's looked really, really powerful. Other games kind of not as impressive. He's only going to pull 3 drones to the gold base because he doesn't want to interrupt mining too much. So he wants to send a big wave of Ling Bane to do aggression. The Lings are hiding around the south. Baneley Nest is on the way. Should be 2 workers on gas, right? This is interesting. He leaves 3 on gas, which is a slightly different way of doing this timing to how I remember it, but obviously Lambo's going to have refined it a bit more than I have. It's a build that I haven't used a lot in a while, but since we've got some gold-based maps back in the pool, definitely something I'm going to start pulling out again. Yep, still 3 workers on gas, so he's going to go 4 Banelings, I think. I think he's just going to join up those Banelings with mass Zergling. It's only 17 workers, and you can see here, Reynor's on 23. Now, Reynor should know. He saw the drones go past with the Overlord like that. Yeah, okay, this is hatchery first. He confirms it now. I'm going to try and poke in there, but 2 Lings pop just in time. 3rd hatchery goes down in the gold for Reynor as well. Okay, Reynor's about to find out there is a lot of Zerglings coming his way. If you see that it's not hatchery first on the gold, I think this build's almost predictable in the meta right now, but Reynor might not have been up to date on that. Link's going to be pulling back to the right side. If Lambo could 2-0 Reynor with this attack, that is going to be massive for Shopify Rebellion. It would mean that they only need to get... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh my god. Baneling's coming in. Okay, here we go. Queen's on the ramp. There's only 1 queen? Where's the 2nd queen? Oh my god, the queen's in the natural, not on the ramp. I don't know why he didn't pull it to the ramp. Reynor leaving his single queen on the ramp to get surrounded. Maybe it couldn't get there in time? I feel like he could have ran it over there. Oh, the Banelings coming in. Big damage so far. He is morphing defensive Banelings. You can lose workers here and be okay here. But Reynor's going to lose his queens as well, and that is a disaster. Lambo's getting big damage. He's only got 2 Banelings and a set of Zerglings. Reynor's Banes are about to finish. He's got to get in here and do damage before those Banelings clean up his Zerglings. Oh, Lambo, he takes a Baneling. A nasty one. Oh, he gets some good damage on these drones. Reynor with a quick mineral walk. Great micro for Reynor, but Lambo scoots around, gets a few more of them. The Baneling in the mineral line does get taken out. Reynor defends 6 worker losses. He's still up 2 workers. However, he doesn't have queens, but he has a 3rd hatchery for production. He's going to transfer drones to the gold base and try to do counter aggression. Look at this, though. Lambo's going to scoot around the top and sneak by into that main base, and Reynor does not have a defensive overlord in position, which is a big problem for him. Oh my god, if that Zergling sets that off, that'll be an issue. Looks like Lambo does lose a few Banelings in the middle of the map to Reynor's Zerglings, which is really nice, but look at this. He's going to lose this Baneling, and then those Zerglings can run into that main base, focus down those drones. They're all still very heavily damaged. Lings on the other side skirmishing. Lambo trying desperately to morph Banelings up for the defense, but his counter squad could be brutal. Reynor is busy focusing on the aggression. Oh, but the drones get us around. Lambo with a miss micro. Oh, Lambo, he gets 3 drones, which sounds nice, but it could have been so much more. Reynor's Zerglings that went to hide in Lambo's base do get caught at the same time. Lambo was busy dealing with that. He's going to try and take out this Cocoon. Barely gets it. Well done by Reynor. 2 Zerglings go after the Baneling, but the Lings do defend successfully. 2 workers do get taken out on this base. Looks like 2 Banelings rolled in there. Reynor takes a big Baneling hit from Lambo, though. Oh, big boom booms. I don't know, Reynor, I think he needed to just detonate sooner rather than later. He doesn't want to waste the Banelings just for a few of the enemy Banelings. There is a Queen up. No, there is not. Oh, there is, but it must be on the gold base. The drones are getting caught out in that main. There's Banelings behind. Stacking in the pocket's only going to save you for a few seconds. The Banelings get a big bursty all over those drones. Reynor's Lings flood out. They pop out a few seconds too late. The Lings of Lambo still trying to dance around. He wants those red hit point drones circling right now, looking for weakness. 6 drones on the gold base, the lifeline of Reynor's economy. If Reynor had a bit of aggression going on the other side, I can imagine he could get some stuff done, but he is in trouble right now. Zergling's running into the gold base. He does lose a worker. Nice focus fire by Lambo. Lambo is up 16 workers to 10. Income tab is actually not that far ahead since there are more workers on the gold for Reynor. Sorry, guys. Fast-paced gameplay, man. Like, how do I commentate this? I gotta try and keep up. Lambo's got Zerglings down there. He's losing a few more units right now. Overall, he's been more efficient, but for how long? There's nothing at home but a Queen. Those Zerglings gonna find the rallying drones. Nice move there for Reynor. Gets one of them. Lambo's pretty quick to respond, though, but he loses the Queen on the gold base as well. Nice micro Reynor. Lambo gets in with 3 Zerglings, and he's going to deny the gas mining, which is massive. In the main base, Reynor's Zerglings pick off an extra drone or 2. Nicely done. They eventually do get cleaned up. Gold base is still mining. Back on the other side, Zerglings are microing as well. Baneling out here. Looks like it got a pretty good hit on the Zerglings of Lambo. That one gets picked off, though. Does not get a big juicy hit. And remember, there is no gas mining right now for Reynor. He can make one more Baneling, and then he's out. Baneling's heading towards the gold base. It's the last bastion of Reynor's economy. He needs to defend. He's going to try and blow up on these Banelings, but look at the spready from Lambo. Lambo only loses one of those Banelings. The Baneling has to defend the Zerglings. The drones have to do a spready of their own, but more Banelings in the rear with the gear. He accidentally blows them up in the lava. One on the hatchery. Lambo with some miss micro. Reynor with some frantic drone spreadies, trying to hang on, trying to survive. The Queen's going to get surrounded. Baneling's coming down. Baneling's looking for the big detonates on both sides. Great spreadies on both sides. Reynor quickly evacuates the drones. Fantastic micro on his part. He's trying to scoot around behind. Baneling, is it going to save them? Is it going to save them? No, a bunch of the drones get surrounded. Great spready from Lambo. On the other side, the gold base gets evicted as well. Lambo taking heavy damage, but Reynor has taken heavier. The drones finally return to the gold, but 2 Banelings are there. Reynor just does not have the income to hold on. And Lambo 2-0ing Reynor takes him to a 3-1 lead. They only need to win 1 map in the next one, and then they will win with no chance of an ace match. All right, all the pressure is on this man's shoulders. It's a position that he's used to finding himself in. Basilisk, Serral in the top left of Equilibrium. And in the top right, we've got Shopify Rebellion's Harstem. Harstem just needs 1 map. Just 1 map. And the funny thing is, even if he loses 0-2, they're still going to get to revive one of their players up against... Obviously, the revival would be Serral if we go to that 7th ace match, that deciding game for Basilisk. Who do you send out, though, if you get to that match? Harstem, Scarlet, Lambo, or BYUN? I do not know. I feel like you probably want to Zerg versus Zerg against Serral, so it's got to be Lambo or Scarlet. You can always take him down in the best of 1. Now, Serral is going hatchery first on the gold. Man, he has no room for error anymore, and he's coming out with a build order, which I don't think... You know, I actually think this build order is really vulnerable and a really bad idea if you do it predictably. I think why this is a good idea is because Serral is not the guy you expect to take this risk, and therefore it's unlikely for Harstem to be opening up with a plan to scout and cannon rush this reactively or something like that. In fact, Harstem's gone for a gas first in order to make his build a little bit more optimized. And that is something which I think Serral's counted on. And this is something which makes Serral a next level player in this matchup. He studies his opponents, he understands their habits, and he plays not Zerg versus Protoss, but Zerg versus whichever Protoss player he's playing against. And he says, you know what, Harstem's probably going to go, hey, I'm a greedy defensive, very standard player. Harstem's probably going to just be greedy, skip scouting, and do his own efficient build. I'm going to do a more efficient greedy build. Look at this, drones getting pulled. He only pulls 6 workers, which is fair enough. If you pull too many workers, the problem is, even if you instantly saturate it, you go, yeah, I've got more mining. But then the new drones that pop out, where do they go? Obviously, the rich gas is actually on this map, you get a rich gas as well. So yeah, you probably should put like 10, 12 workers on here at the start. I do wonder if you could get away with skipping gas and taking your first gas on the rich gas and having that just start mining at 2 minutes, because it mines at the rate of 2 gases. Like that would actually be a really cool build order. Obviously, playing with no link speed and defending a base this far from your main, kind of psychotic. Harstem does see that gold base. He's already got a Stargate on the way. He's going to chrono an Adept across the map. I would love to see 2 Adepts chronoed across the map. Defending this base and the main, and getting that third up against 2 Adepts and an Oracle, something that takes a lot of finesse. Serral doesn't afraid, of course. No second chrono on the Adept. That is surprising to me. It's either the probes or the Adept normally, but I guess... Oh, he chronoed the probes in the main. Bit of an odd choice. Normally you chrono the natural. Single Adept is going to be shading in soon by the looks of it, but there's a Queen and a Zergling ready to greet it. I say a Zergling, there's actually 3. That one looked like a lava. Cancel. Good cancel. Oracle does get chrono boosted immediately. I think we'll be seeing a chrono into a second Oracle straight away as well. 30 workers versus 25. So even with that gold base mining, I think you're feeling okay as Harstem here. Serral not overcomplicating things by trying to rush the purple gas. He realizes it's hard to defend as it is. You need to spend a lot of minerals on queens, zerglings, and spores. Rushing ahead and trying to get that second gas too early is dumb. That being said, it's still way earlier than he'd normally get it, but 3 minutes 20, a good time. And actually, wait. Does he just queen walk? No, he goes Evo Chamber. I was going to say, you could do like the equivalent of a 3 gas queen walk off about 45 workers, and it would be very hard to stop with that purple gas and the gold base. Oh, Harstem doesn't get a single drone. Oh, he's been watching the Florencio files. He targets 3 separate drones for maximum psychological impact. For those who don't know the lore of Florencio's damage distribution, if you've ever taken his course on science strategies for kids who can't macro good, the whole idea is basically if you spread damage across Zerg units without actually finishing them off, it does more psychological damage because they basically go, oh, you're hurting more units rather than just killing 1 unit or 2 units. You damage 3 or 4, so they're traumatized. Oracle's going to come in. Let's see if he does it again. Oh, he breaks mode. Oh, he kills one that time. Very un-Florencio-esque of Harstem. People have also said it gives you more potential damage you can do, because if you damage a unit and it regenerates, that's more total hit points of life you can damage your opponents, and therefore more you can piss them off. So, strategy. Third Nexus on the gold coming up. Got the purple gas going down. Harstem's going to counter gold base with gold base. This is why I think that Roach Roar would be amazing. Oracle's coming and kill 2 drones. But Serral's actually got a Baneling Nest and a 4th hatchery. Oh, this is what I love about the gold base. I always tell people, if you're not used to playing gold bases, there's a few things you got to realize. Build more overlords than normal and expand into a very fast 4th base and 5th base or 4th base and macro hatchery. Because you just basically will get this big amount of minerals you can't spend. You need more production as a Zerg. Same thing with like Terran or Protoss. Often you're taking an extra base a bit earlier, or a bit more production earlier than normal. Stalkers and Oracles will clear out that guy. It's just Blink for now. So it's 4-gate Blink. Interesting. Here we go. Mass Link coming down the south. He's actually built a lot of Zerglings off 50 drones. Serral's planning a bust. Yeah, so Serral's going to... He's got plenty of Zerglings on the map. Queens are going to come forward to try and push back these Oracles. Oh, Harstem barely survives, but he's using up his energy to clear creep, which means he doesn't have as much to defend the Banelings. Oh my god, 16 Banelings! He's going to rally them in, blow up the shield battery and all the probes. Who needs Baneling speed? Serral's been learning from Dark. He's like, who would never lose to Harstem? No offense to Harstem, Dark. Dark would just throw randomling Bane attacks at him, random Queen Walks, and just catch him off with crazy strats. And Serral's kind of doing that this time. Hatch first into the gold. There's a Stargate Fleet Beacon transition on the way. Oh no, Harstem. His gold base getting hammered right now. Probe's trying to get out of there. The Oracles are back here. They've got a lot of energy, which is good for him. I love that the Banelings are like, quick, waddle away. Ever so slowly, they're trying to waddle their way out of harm. Ling's up there, catch a probe, trying to take a different base or trying to run away. Stalkers will try to defend with the help of the Oracles. They definitely can do so. But behind it, he's going for a second Stargate and a Fleet Beacon, which tells me Harstem was trying to skip his way up into the Sky Toss game. He doesn't want to play a straight-up game against Serral. And maybe surprising him with 4 carriers would actually be a very smart way of doing it. So, first carrier starts. Unfortunately, losing that gas on that base. Not able to get another carrier up just yet. He's got a decent work account, though. Losing 11 probes is not the end of the world if you kill a lot of Ling Bane, and they're only on a 50 drone economy. Serral's still only on 50 drones. He's taking a 5th hatchery. If Serral doesn't drone soon, his gold is mining out. He's going to lose 2 of these mineral patches in a moment. So Serral is very committed to the aggression, but this is going to come at a hefty price. Baneling speed plus 2 melee roach speed on the way. Drones are finally starting. Serral massing up a rather crazy amount of units. Second carrier starts up now for Harstem. Here come the Banelings. They're going to try to crash in, but battery overcharge and plenty of stalkers there to defend. Purple gas is not mining just yet. We'd like to see that for Harstem, but he's struggling simply to protect the mineral line. 11 more drones building. That's going to take us above 70. You can see the gold minerals, as I mentioned, already half mined out on those patches, transferring over to his 4th and soon to his 5th. Forge is now building for Harstem, wanting to add cannons, potentially ground upgrades in the future. He hasn't started his sky upgrades just yet. Still wondering if he's planning to surprise with carriers. He's got one out here, so it looks like no. Sarah's like, what are you doing, dude? Sees a 4th Nexus in the back. 55 probes for Protoss, 73 workers for Serral. Serral has a hive on the way, and he's going up to 80 drones. Feels like Serral's got pretty good control over this match. He's got Harstem turtled up. Harstem's slowly transitioning upwards. He's building more gateway. So Harstem's going... Oh, he's doing the classic build. He's going to go +1, 3 or 4 carriers, and then he's going to transition into just mass stalker timing behind it. But I don't think he's going to hit a crisp enough timing with this. It's going to be really hard to kill Serral if Serral can keep trading with him. Baneling's coming in. The stalkers have already... Okay, they're pulling back. They're pulling back. He blinks back into the mineral line. Battery overcharge comes in. Great blocking. I love the positioning. Great force field as well. Fantastic defense. Who knew that a 7-foot-tall Dutchman would have a good, thick D? Something that Serral just cannot chomp through no matter how much he tries. Great defense for Harstem. His probe count's still a little low, though, so I feel these sort of trades, even though it's 2-to-1 efficiency for Harstem, is it really something he can do? Charge and +1 are on the way, so he's planning the Zealot Archon transition behind this. Looks like his gateways are all transforming now as well, so he will have AKOs. Oh, he's walling off on the south. That's cute. So he's going to take a 5th base down the bottom. He's already walled off ahead of time for that. I love that planning. Harstem's planning looking very good, but he needs to get up to like 80 probes, I feel. Unless he's... Actually, there's an argument that you stay on this... If you don't build any more probes for the rest of this game, you just make a really big army. Could be hard for Serral to deal with. Serral comes in and he says, "Have you heard about the Finnish scoop?" And Harstem's like, "What are you talking about?" And Serral just hands him a box. Harstem opens it, undoes the bow, and he finds a piece of fossilized shit. And Serral says, "Bit of Finnish humor for you, mate." It's essentially what he did. Harstem was so shocked that his Stargate stopped producing for a good 30 seconds. Nice move. Roach Zergling. Oh, if he gets rid of +1 on the upgrade, that's going to be annoying. You got a battery overcharge. Oh, no! Okay, he does save the upgrade. Good move for Harstem. I don't mind him blinking forward to try to distract the army. The carriers are going to enact a big tax on this. Stalker's just going to keep blinking back. Sentry gets left behind. Ling's on the right, though. Oh, no, that's the problem. He needs some Zealot Warpins there. He can't be losing that 4th base right now. Serral with the +2 melee Zerglings finds a very juicy pickoff. And Harstem's strategy's been very cool. But Serral, I think, with that gold-based boost, I mean, he's already a fantastic player. And staying on 50 drones as long as he did, doing damage, he's just kind of kept Harstem small in his corner of the map. Meanwhile, 88 worker, Zerg economy, 4th fully saturated, 5th fully saturated, the equivalent of 10 gases mining, but he just lost 2 of those. So he's back to 8 gases mining as that purple gas expires so quickly. Mines out before the 11-minute mark. What the heck? Ultra Cavern is on the way. Ultra Corruptor. That is noob-friendly late game. That is one of the best late games if you don't like to micro. Serral saying, I think I've got momentum. I don't think I need to go to Broodlords. I don't think I need to go to Viper, Broodlord, Lurker, Spore Crawler, all that stuff. I want to kill you now. Roach, Zergling, Mass Queen Corrupted. That is 11 queens. Gotta put some creep tumors down. I wouldn't mind. Transfusers try to come in. Roachling's going to go for the +2 upgrade. He's realizing that +2 upgrade is so scary. And that will go down. There we go. +2 does fall. Surrounding some units there. If he could deny this base as well, that'd be massive. Battery overcharge does go down. Trading out the Roaches and Zerglings. Going to be replacing these with Ultras eventually. Battery overcharge gets taken down. The Oracle and the Zealots will be able to defend eventually. But damage is damage. And by golly, is he getting a lot of it. 9, 10 probes going down. Finally cleaning up his 4th base is Harstem. Doesn't lose the Nexus that time, but down to 48 workers against 87. And Serral is going to have an absolute party. He lost a few Overseers and got supply caps, so he's building 7 Overlords to make sure that never happens again. Archons and Void Rays trying to be built. Neither of these is what you need, though. You need Immortals. If you can get 4 Immortals up to deal with the Ultras, and then have some Archons and maybe some Storms and stuff like, yeah, you could do it. As it is, though, it's going to be tough because it's, what, 6 carriers against 24 Corruptors? It's a 6-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio, which is pretty solid for Serral. Ultras coming in, a single Viper as well. Serral's creep is massive right now. He's got a big boy protruding into the middle of the map. Harstem never got a chance to take that 5th base. Wouldn't it be funny if he'd blocked his 5th base with that pylon, guys? I don't think he did. I think it's perfectly placed, but just be like, what an amazing Wolof securing the 5th. And he's like, ah, shit. You see the cannons start to attack this pylon, and you're like, yep, it's blocked. 2 Void Rays start to build right now. Harstem, of course, no expectation on him beating Serral. That's crazy, because if you think about this, if BYUN had 2-0 trigger, this would be over already. As it is, we're going to see how this plays out. Zergling's going south. The Zealot's warping in. Just quick Zealot warp in, so necessary to hang on. Oh, what is this? Oh, come on, my man. Serral's got the Ling drop going towards the main base. Zealot run by for Harstem gets in his first piece of aggression this game, and Harstem is actually maxing out with a rather large army. He also sees the Ultras. He finds out about the Ultras, and I'd love to see an Immortal starting up. He chronoed it before, but I don't know if he actually was able to get anything out. Maybe the Observer just got built. +2 air attack was almost finished earlier, got cancelled. He's going to be rebuilding that. Oh, here we go. Watch out. It's a lot of Corruptor Viper Ultra. Harstem's going to try to fight it. Oh, he's got Storm. I like the Side Storms, but the High Templar going down to the Ultras. They're going to try to land another Storm. They do, but they're all gone now. The Archon Stalker is falling. He's got to keep some Archons alive against the Corruptors, and he does. Harstem. Just by having a giant army is how he won that fight, if you're wondering. Now, he's got to make more High Templar so he can do more walk-ins. These +3 Adrenal Gland Zerglings are cracked. There's a reason we call them cracklings, guys. Much like crack soldiers, they are utterly insane and badass at the same time. +2 Carapace, +2 air attacks on the way. 5 Ultras are building. It's going to bring it up to 6 Ultras. Needs enough to overwhelm the Archons and the High Templar so the Corruptors can do their business. Serral might be regretting opting for such an A move, easy to use composition rather than the optimal late game. Because if the next wave doesn't work and Harstem is able to remax again, that's where things get very problematic. There's already an Immortal out, a second one on the way. Once there's 4 or 5 Immortals and a bit of splash damage to deal with Zerglings, the Ultras start to get popped very fast. And then if you can Size Storm to cover those carriers, that'll be good. But there's only 3 High Templar. I'd love to see a 4th and a 5th. With only 3 Storms available, things could be very problematic. Gold base is not that important anymore. Losing it honestly doesn't matter, but you don't want to give up ground. Oh, double Oracle goes down. No Revelation. Big mistakes for Harstem there. He's trying to warp in more Archons on the front line. Oh, he's got to be careful, though. They're now mixed in with the high-energy High Templar. There we go. Good micro for him, though. That Immortal's going to go down. Does pull back to the battery overcharge. It's going to put some damage down on those Ultras. They say we just want hugs, and they do manage to take it down. The Immortal popping out as well. Another one. Still at 2 Immortals, 5 carriers, 5 Archons, 3 High Templar. Juiced up with Storm Energy. Corruptor Vipers looking for the pick-off. Storms and feedbacks. Looking for the Vipers. 5th base is up on the south side, by the way, right now. Look out for the feedbacks. Carrier goes down. I like the way Serral's bullying him here. The High Templar takes so long to move around, and that's allowing these Abducts to go down. Corruptors one-shotting those carriers. 5th base was indeed perfectly placed next to that wall off. Harstem just does not have a great economy. He's building a second Robo right now. Serral's got so much money. Harstem needs to not just win a fight, he needs to crush a fight. Harstem needs to wrestle Serral out of this game. 4 carriers have gone down. He needs to rebuild his carriers. If he doesn't rebuild his carriers, then, I mean, that's possible if you're just staying mass ground and that's it. But look at that. He loses another carrier. A Void Ray as well. The Archons get some shots off. Time Warp does pop. Gets a few of the Corruptors, but not as many as he'd like, guys. 6 carriers for 6 Corruptors. I'll tell you who likes that. His name's Serral, and he's being more efficient than the Protoss player while having a massive economy advantage and more of the map. He's going to try and counterattack right now. Harstem down 20 army supply. Seems like a desperate effort, but, I mean, his economy sucks. He's got to do something sooner rather than later. The Corruptors are heavily wounded. They are heavily wounded right now. Mama goes down, though. Nice Abduct and Corrupted Focus Fire. It's Ultra Queen here. The Queen Transfusers could be big for Serral. He's already starting to blanket a few of those Transfusers on the Ultras. The Immortal Archon is doing pretty good, though. High Templar coming forward as well. The Immortals in the back smashing through those Ultras. There's 8 more in production, though. So this is round 1. There's 10 more Ultras and Zerglings building. Serral has so much money. He just needs to build Overlords, actually. He's lost enough Overlords. He's supply blocked again. Oh, those Overseers just kind of standing there. Definitely could supply block him even more. Drones in the top getting caught. Corrupt is going across the map. It's time to go for a bit of wee-wee. Serral is going to unzip his fly and start to give him some of that Finnish rain. The middle of, the middle of Finnish kind of fall or autumn, as we call it down here. Get that icy rain. It's not quite snowing just yet. I don't know why it's icy. Can you imagine if P came out icy? Damn. I'd be like, Abatha, I don't know what you did with the biology of the Corruptor, but I need to understand how this works. Oh, the High Templar get caught out. Harstem's just been way too behind for too long. Serral finally finishes him off. All right, that one may have felt a bit demotivating, but let's remember, his opponent got away with a gold base from the start. Harstem still has a shot, and he's on a very big map where you can pull out your most special of tactics. Proxy gold base into proxy Tempest. You know you want to do it. Don't be a coward, Harstem. Go do it. Serral in the top right now, only 1 game away from forcing that final ace match and getting to play the 3rd game of the day, something that Serral is very familiar with doing. The first Casters Civil War Team League, where we got to draft teams, I picked Serral. And he basically saved us. Every single time. The whole thing was like, can anyone else please win a map? Guys, please? Just please someone win a map. And then we could, Serral was always going to win his map. And then that would force the ace match, which Serral would always win. It was kind of sad that we had to lean on him so much, but I just feel like that is Serral's job, is basically holding up the weight of everything. In any team league he finds himself in, he's always just doing insane plays. Actually, even in 2v2, right? If anyone here hasn't watched, go check out the 2v2 video we cast maybe about a year ago from World Team League, where Serral and Oliveira were playing on a team together. I tell you, that lurker ambush versus Maru's army when they were on the brink of defeat was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. That was one of the best lurker ambushes ever. It's like they're in such a bad spot. And Serral's like, let's hide 10 lurkers in the middle of the map, put them on hold fire, wait till the Terran moves on top, and just, ugh. It doesn't even spoil the match either, because there was so much back and forth in those series. It was nutso. All right, so Harstem, did he scout, guys? He did not scout. So Harstem's like, scouting is for the weak. I'm not going to do that. Serral also just saying, well, I get Overlords, so I don't really need to drone scout unless I want to get some very early information. Carrier rush into Stalkers. I wouldn't mind the classic carrier rush into Stalkers. I do feel like Serral's pretty good against it, though. I don't know. Tempest rush? I'm trying to think about a special strategy that Harstem could do to surprise Serral. Something really far out. Didn't he try a Mothership rush in the regionals? I feel like he did a Mothership rush where he tried to recall versus someone. I think it was versus Lambo. So it was a PvZ game. Creep going down, 3rd base. Fully pulling off gas. Doesn't start link speed yet, Serral. So I think Serral, you might be wondering why not? It's because he didn't see any chronos on the gateways. Doesn't see any adepts arrive, and he's like, well, if you're not chronoing 2 adepts across the map, I don't need link speed. I can build a few more drones, get my Overlord a little bit earlier, get my 3rd Queen a little faster. These sort of adjustments really helping. Now, Serral's camera was up there for some reason. Maybe clicking an Overlord to scout. Void Ray's on the way for Harstem. That is the I don't want you to see what I'm doing. You see someone building a Void Ray, you always know that they don't want you to see what's up. Now, Harstem's not mining out that last mineral patch. Okay, now he is. He sends it back. Sentry comes out. Wait. Oh, he built a Sentry, then cancelled it, and builds a Zealot, and then cancels it. Oh! Harstem keeps pretending to build gateway units, guys. He keeps pretending to build gateway units. He now has a fleet beacon here. Okay, yeah, is he going to do the Tempest rush again? I don't know. Tempest or Carriers. Has to be one or the other. But it's only 1 Stargate so far. I think as soon as the Overlord's done, we should see double gas. No? It's a 3-base build. Ooh, Harstem, what you got in store for us? What are you cooking up? Well, I know people call him the captain, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be a chef cooking us up something special in this game. So Nexus into third gas. Lair on the other side, though. Serral. Oh, if he rushes Spire, that hard counters any of this sort of play. And yeah, single Stargate Tempest. I don't know about this. I got to say, maybe he's just trying to force... Oh, no. Oh, right, because you just want to run up and one-shot drones. The whole strategy is a single Tempest to one-shot drones. And then he can either go carriers afterwards or some completely other unit. Okay, I get it. This is awesome. Maybe he builds a second Tempest, but I don't think he builds any more than that. Because, oh, he's supply blocked. Oh, okay, Tempest does now start up. Don't know if he had to cancel a probe or something to get that started, but... Twilight Council on the way. Yeah, he's going to go Twilight behind it. I was thinking, surely you know you're going to force a Spire and a big over response, so best to do it this way. Overlord Speed's on the way. Serral does not want to blind play for a Spire. He just wants scouting as I say that. No, he blind goes Spire. Smart. Oh, smart. That's a very quick Spire. He's even pulling Queens to defend. Oh, he's expecting this strategy. I don't think he saw the Tempest, but he just knows what's up, guys. He's figured it out. I don't know if it's because the Gateway kept fake building units, but there was no actual Adepts unit coming out. But he's already moving Spores and Queens over here. Genius. Serral, so well prepared. And Harstem. Oh, no, Harstem. No. If he actually just kept it flying, it would have been better than that. Oh, no. He could have just flown it up and gone around the back and tried to, like, force the Queens up there. And then the second one could come in and pick off some units, but he's not going to get any damage. He's also built a third Tempest, which is not great. Blink and +1 are on the way. And he's down 20 workers. Serral's on 75 drones going up to 80 plus. Well, this is just game over, isn't it? Serral literally can hold down the Mutalisk King and kill him. Or he can go a handful of Corruptors into Mass Roach. I don't know how as Harstem you ever defend a 4th base. You're just so far behind in the numbers. Oh, Serral with such a good read. I wonder if Serral playing like this was actually vulnerable to like a Zealot or Adept all-in or something. Because did Serral check the corners? Like, he actually checked down here really well. I was going to say if there's a proxy gate in the bottom right side of the map somewhere, maybe that could have worked. Technically, there was a little hole in the vision there, but that's a very dangerous area to proxy. He's only going to kill 3 drones. Oh, he gets a queen. That's something. Blink +1, 5 more gateways on the way. Yeah, Mass Muta. Mass Muta is such a shutdown. You don't even need to fight the Tempest because your queens are doing a good job. You can fly across the map, do a bunch of economic damage, then come back and kill the Tempest. 4th Tempest is on the way as well as Stalkers, and he's still building Tempests. Oh, and he's going to try to take the gold base and then use battery overcharge there. And Stalkers on the ground to defend against Corruptors. Oh, but wait, why are his Stalkers there? Harstem. Why are their drones fighting Stalkers? Harstem and Serral having a bit of an oopsie. The Mutas are coming around to try and maybe intercept in the middle of the map. They're going to go straight for the natural. 10 Roaches on the way for Serral as well. Spores taking damage. He's trying to micro the Spores in and out. Serral being as slippery as possible. He does not want to let Harstem just stand there and shoot at him with these Tempests. Mutalisk coming in. Stalkers and a Void Ray are there. Nice micro for Harstem. You could see Focus Fire to Mutalisk. Third base though. Oh, any probes going down is massive. You're already so far behind in the economy. Stalkers blink to the right. Serral's like, hey, if you blink right, I'll go left. You blink left, I'll go right. Oh, you're running back to the main? Lol, killed your Void Ray, dum-dum. And he's going to go into the main base right now. Stalkers and Tempests coming in. One of the Tempests has not gone down. There are still 5 Tempests on the map. Having one at home shooting at these Mutas might actually help right now. Stalker's trying to blink around to deal with his 17 workers going down. The damage is stacking up. Serral all over that mineral line. My God. This man is disgusting in this matchup. His understanding of his opponent's habits and his expectation of their builds is so good. I feel like a lesser Zerg who just plays the matchup rather than to their opponent would have been surprised by some of these builds. But Serral is a genius, and he knew exactly how Harstem was going to play this series. Shuts him down. All right, well, all the weight of Shopify Rebellion is now on Lambo's shoulders. The ZVZ sniper, the man that just 2-0'd Reynor to put them in this situation, now has a shot against Serral. Now, there's part of me that says, wow, what a monumental task, a best of 1 versus Serral. On the other hand, it's only 1 map. You're a very clever ZVZ player. You almost beat Serral in that finals that one time. And there's also the, there's the cumulative thing of like, does Serral stay focused? 3 games in a row, players who are trying to snipe him with cheeky builds. They're always trying to catch him off guard. Does he have the same level of understanding of Lambo that he just showed that he has of Harstem? If so, I think he can really shut him down. But I'm keeping my eyes on it. Does Serral play this just like very generic defensive scouting ZVZ? Or does he throw his spanner in the works and try to hit a bit of a timing attack to catch Lambo off guard? I would love to see that. Like, I really feel like rushing super early lair into very fast Spire, genius move in that last game. And he was very well prepared for what Harstem was throwing. He completely read what he was doing off minimal scouting info. And I'd love to ask him, and I will if I get a chance. I'll be like, what made you know he was going to? This game was played like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. It took me a while to get the replays. I kept asking them, but I kept asking him, like, I would absolutely be asking him, like, hey, what would it be? And pros are normally like, oh, because they built a unit out of the gateway and then canceled it and then built another one. I saw nothing popping out of the gateway. I know they're always doing a Sky Toss build when they do that. Otherwise, they would let the unit finish. Like, there's often like these very minor tells in pro play, and you only realize it was a tell if you speak to the other opponent or after the game has Harstem. If you go studying and go, how did he know what I was doing? But anyway, let's talk about these builds. Very standard. Both of them taking third base. Baneling Nest, exact same time. This is a complete mirrored build, as standard as it gets. Both of them have 2 workers on gas mining. They are at exactly the same amount of gas. You can see that, like, this is actually the closest you can get to a perfect mirror matchup. Now, Serral builds an Overlord first. Lambo, don't be hitting that 44 supply block, my friend. Looks like he will be. I mean, don't get me wrong, the hatchery will unsupply block you in 25 seconds, but that's a little while away. You're not there just yet. It's going to be a 44 supply block for Lambo. Of course, if you build 2 Overlords here anyway, it's still fine. Because while you're making the lair... Oh, Larry's going to play 3-base Mutalisk. Lambo's playing 3-base Mutalisk. I love it. I love it. I think this is a great way to play. Serral didn't get inside the main. He didn't scout it. There's a second gas on the way. 3-base Mutalisk is a great way to create asymmetry in the matchup. You do not want to play a symmetrical game against Serral. That Roach Horn is there to show, look at me, I'm totally playing Roaches when he's actually not. And to block scouting. Those Zerglings are no longer blocking that natural. It's got to be careful that a Ling does not get in there. You cannot be letting that Zergling in. So far, Serral sees no drones on the third. Serral has 6 drones on the third. That may be a tell. It's not a big one just yet, but if he comes in again and still sees no units on the third base, that's when Serral's going to get very suspicious. Now, Serral's doing a hatchery tech Roachling timing anyway, so it doesn't matter. As I said, is he going to throw a spanner in the works? He absolutely is. Lambo's trying to rush a Spire on 4 gas here, and if Serral played defensively, he'd probably be behind against this gamble, but if he attacks into it, which he's doing, it's going to be tough for Lambo. Lambo needs to realize what's happening. He needs to realize soon. He's going to... Oh, he sees the Ling's blocking him. He's not able to see what's up. Lambo's scouting. His Spire hasn't started. Lambo forgot to start his Spire. That Spire's a few seconds late, but honestly, seeing the Roaches come, uh-oh. He's got to build Spines and Roaches right now. He's already going to... Oh, he just built Zerglings! He just built Zerglings! He starts the Spine in the natural. Yeah, he pulls back from the third. Losing the third is not the end of the world. If you have Mutalisk tech out, Lings are going to counterattack. He needs to build Roaches, though. He's building Zerglings. If he's forgotten, he has the Roach Horn. He has to build Roaches to defend against this. Otherwise, it's going to be so tough. Roachbane coming in off 38 workers for Serral. Serral's going to throw the kitchen sink at him. Lambo's Lings get surrounded by a superior Zergling count of Serral. Serral takes a very good fight. Lambo disengages, but only with a handful of Zerglings remaining. 2, in fact. Roach Baneling taking out the third base. Serral is droning and building a lair, realizing, okay, cracking the natural might not be doable here. I can try for it. Oh, he's going to try to break the Baneling Nest down. That's interesting. Rather than the Evo Chamber, knowing the Evo Chamber can be cancelled and then rebuilt potentially to bug out his Roaches a little, he's like, whatever, we'll just kill this. And here we go. He's going for the big damage. Oh, actually, Serral being very cautious. He's still looking for damage, but he's not overcommitting. Gets a Queen, pulls back. I wouldn't mind Serral targeting the Roach Horn down as well, but you can see he's trying to use this choke point to kind of keep Lambo locked in his base. Lambo's Spire is almost finished. If that was even a few seconds earlier, that would have really helped. He's got a bit of gas saved up, does build a chunk of his own Roaches, but Lambo has finally lost the worker advantage. He's on 45 against 51. His Banelings are there. The Spines and the Roaches trying to defend. Oh, Lambo runs his Lings forward. He loses his last Baneling. He needed Banelings in reserve to stop these Lings of Serral jumping in. That's a big mistake for Lambo. Losing all those Banelings was a big mistake. I like the drone surround. That's actually a beautiful drone drill. But he's taking big damage right now. He pulls back the drones at the perfect time as the fight turns in his favor. Mutalisks will also turn the fight in his favor. Serral is focus firing to try to kill as many Roaches as he can before all of his units die. The Mutalisks are popping. It's 2 base versus 3 base. Serral's on 60 workers. And that is going to make up for the fact that he now has to spend a lot of money on Spore Crawlers and Queens to defend these Mutalisks. Lambo knows those will be ready, so he's just going to clean up Overlords for now, which is absolutely the right call. Just go across. I'd like them to send 2 Mutas, or 1 to pick off that, the rest to go pick off this Overlord here as well. Serral's trying to hide that Overlord, but Lambo has found it. Behind this, Lambo is still building Mutalisks, which I think is a mistake at this point. It's Serral. He's not really going to leave an opening for you to do damage. I think as Lambo, you need to hold down the drone key, yet he's building Mutas and Lings, which makes me think he wants to do some sort of big attack, which is not going to work against Muta, Queen, Spore. Yeah, I actually think he's still building more Mutalisks. Wow, so Lambo is kind of going massive commitment to, I need to find damage with these Mutalisks. If I don't, things are not going to go well for me. Queens move out, clean up an Overlord. Serral sending Zerglings out to scout. Now, one of my greatest tips, guys, if you're playing in Serral's shoes as the Roach player against Mutas, send an Overseer to the corner of the map, drop Changelings, and just every time you get energy for a Changeling every minute, drop a Changeling and send it in. If you send a Changeling from your side of the map, they almost always see it and kill it. But if you send a Changeling from the corner, it usually gets to their base without them spotting it. Serral says, I don't even need Changelings, I'll just use Zerglings. But same technique, he goes to the corner and then works his way down. And that allows him to see Lings and Mutas still popping out. And Serral should be building more Queens and Roaches. As a result, he's going Infestation Pit. No doubt he'll take the gases in the near future as well. I'd love to see him wall off the front on this third and get a Spore behind it. Because then Lingbane is only going to have 1 angle to attack over here, which is terrible for Lingbane. Queen's in the open. And 1 Queen goes down. Make it 2. The Mutalisk's trying to take out the Spore Crawler. Lings help out. Ooh, he's lost 2-3 Mutas there, but if he can take out the Queens, there's no Spore rooted in this fight right now. He tries to just focus down the Queens. Lambo is going for broke right now. I think he needed to focus the Queens there, not change targets to the Spore. If he focused those Queens, he could have moved north and done more damage. He's trying to overwhelm this base. The problem is he's lost so many Mutalisks doing it. New Spores are building. He'll eventually kill the Queens. But vengeance is coming. The Night King cometh. The Roach is going across the map. Serral's like, you mad lad. I did not expect you to break through. Yes, I was caught with not that much anti-air, but that comes at a cost. I knew you couldn't do that. Otherwise, I could take you out. I did not think that game was going to be so sudden and brutal, but once again, Serral says these guys are too afraid to play me in a straight-up game. And if someone's too afraid to play you in a straight-up game, there is a very clear counter to them, and that is cut at a very early work account and hit a sharp timing attack. You will catch them out while they're being greedy and punish them super hard. And he did that so well here. I love it. A 38 drone timing. Gets a lot of damage. Slows down Lambo massively. Really slowly, methodically breaks his way through. Waits for a lot of banelings and drones up behind it. Serral wins 3 games in a row, and once again is the linchpin holding Basilisk's amazing World Team League performances together. Very well played from Serral. Shout out to Shopify Rebellion for doing so well, especially Lambo 2-0ing Reynor. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and Basilisk stands strong. GG, well played. Hope you enjoyed this series, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you guys are enjoying the games, don't forget to check out the Patreon down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.